oh, you know it's new video time and it's coming at you. So the 1.07 patch, you know, I said, hey, I'm gonna try and stay away from Elden Ring for a month, and just play Bloodborne all month, and you know, other games. And so they had to drop a patch, of course, you know, right in the middle of October to really mess with me. Now I typically don't stream on Saturdays, so it's Saturday, October 15th, and I've been invading in Elden Ring all day. All this footage that comes after this invasion is all stuff I did today, and I thought I should just like play around with all my builds, you know, just use all of them, all the ones I haven't used in a long time, and had a lot of fun. And the reason I was doing it, besides just having a good time, was, you know, to test out how the builds feel, see what seems different or what seems new after the patch. And yeah, it's been a little insightful, I guess. I was talking to Peeve in his stream about the patch, and you know, people keep coming in when you're streaming. People are just like constantly coming into your stream. This, you know, was watching Peeve's stream, so it was a lot of people constantly coming in, and they, you know, oh, what's up? What's the patch like? What's the patch like? What's it like? And to me, it seems like the easiest way to explain it is if you were using stuff that did 11 or 1200 damage in a single hit, you probably got nerfed in this patch. If you were using, you know, weaker stuff before the patch, you probably got buffed. The amount of that buff, you know, depends. You might have gotten a crazy good buff, or you might not even notice it. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I was actually kind of worried about it, not for the same reason I think other people were worried about it. I think other people wanted, you know, like this balanced sort of thing, and for me, it was more like I didn't want them to go too, like, I didn't want just Dark Souls 3 PvP take 2, you know? Like, I didn't want that. I wanted Elden Ring PvP to stay its own thing. And so when I saw that it was going to be, you know, everything was getting like a weird nerf, I was a little worried about it. I would rather them try something new and just constantly build on new stuff than, you know, make a game that's more like their last game, you know? But that's just me. But having said that, man, it feels good. It's all good. This is the Lucerne build. We use the War Cry, Ash of War, on the Lucerne. And now it's my understanding the Lucerne actually has more thrust attacks now than it did originally. Originally it only had them on the running attacks and I think some of the R2s. And now I've been told it has more thrust attacks, or pierce damage, sorry, than it did previously. But the Warcry R2s, as you're about to see, that's all pierce. So between the Spear Talisman and the Roar Talisman, if you pause the video, you can take a look at my stats right there, and you can take a look at the talismans I'm wearing. Alternatively, you could just find the video here on the channel and watch it and enjoy the advertisements, and I'll get 30 cents. It's not really 30 cents, it's not a lot. So Moonlight guy, Redeemed Jeff, if you've watched my first playthrough, this was the build we used for the blind playthrough of Elden Ring. And I've made this build essentially one of my Dark Souls 3 style builds, and one of my Dark Souls 1, this is just a Poisey Moonlight build. And it's, I have Collapsing Stars, and I have the one spell, it's like a spell for black holes, but that's it. Other than that, it's all Moonlight, baby. And it's so good. They keep buffing the Dark Moon Greatsword, and they keep buffing Hyper Armor, and as a result, the Dark Moon greatsword just keeps quietly getting a little bit better. It's a lot of fun. They didn't really do anything to shake up like the running pokes. Like, I kind of expected that to be a thing. That was an issue that was in Dark Souls 3 that they eventually patched. You know, the running poke weapons all have insane range, and it's especially noticeable in this game because not much has that style of range, that much range in this game. And then, as well, you know, the tracking on them is just incredible. And it's hard. You can sort of strafe them, but it's maybe harder than you think it should be to strafe them, in my experience. So I kind of expected them to do, like, to sort of give this the same treatment that they gave to Dark Souls 3 spears and long katanas, which is to, you know, reduce the range on the running attack and maybe make it a little slower. But so far they haven't done that. You know, if they don't, you know, it's not the end of the world, but you just can't get away from people using some sort of running poke. That's it, you know. Everybody knows it's good, so everybody uses it. Having said that, after this patch, because they buffed so much stuff, I'm seeing people use things that I never saw before. You know, not a lot of that footage here as you see another guy who does running pokes, but it's out there, it's happening. I'm seeing people use all kinds of wild stuff. It's been a lot of fun to see some people do some new stuff, and it's stuff that I'm not familiar with, and so you know, it catches me off guard. I don't see it, I don't expect it, but it's been nice. This dude's got Endure on the Giant Crusher, and everybody's been telling me about how good Endure is, and if there's one surefire way to make sure I never play with something, it's tell me how good it is a lot. Like, if a lot of people tell me how good something is, it's like the quickest way to get me to not try it. And this patch has been out for 2 days, and I'm already to that point where everybody's like, oh, Endure rules, you gotta try it. And I've heard that so much that now I'm probably just not gonna try it. You know, I've seen people gripe about Endure carrying Slicer. I've not seen that, but I can totally believe it. You know, I can imagine what that's like. I cut this invasion a little short. These guys had a third friend, and we've already killed the third friend, and now it's just these two. And the running spear guy kind of puts you, you know, mentally in a place where, like, you have to be careful. You can't commit to anything because running pokes are too good. The hammer guy, he's gonna commit to his attacks, and so, like, if you play right, you can punish him. But if he has a friend who's using you know, a running poke, that punishment goes out the window. So I'm thinking at this point, like, I'm trying to bait him into a running attack so that I can parry it, but he won't. He's very passive, and seeing his health this low, I assume, like, okay, maybe he's low on Estus, or I'm sorry, his flask. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of flasks left, or maybe he's out. Either way, they decide that they want to summon their buddy back, and we're going to use Collapsing Stars, and this is why we have it on the build, because it's funny. Thanks for watching the video. Just kind of rambled, but, you know, some cool clips. So I hope you enjoyed the cool clips and me rambling, and I will see you next time. Until then, later, y'all.